Hi, everybody. We're joined by Optic Gaming, who are coming off of their match against Loud. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature, and then we will call on you. We'll start with remote media, followed by the in-person media. We'll begin with Brandon from Run It Back. This is a question for Chet. The team looked visibly upset after the loss to Loud. Obviously, things didn't go as planned. From a coaching standpoint, what did you see that needs to be tightened up to keep the mentality high prior to the lower final match?
I think we just know that, at least for Bind, that it was in our hands. We know what we need to improve. We already talked about it a little bit. So for Ascent, at least, we just need to go back into the practice room and just figure out what we want to do moving forward and not get lurked on so hard and figure out how Loud exploited us. So we're just going to figure out what exploited us and fix it for the next series before we play DRX or FPX.
Thank you. This next question is from Sons of Chaos Latam. For those of who want to answer, they lost in 2 rounds. For the second round, they didn't have a chance to come back. What happened on the second map so that they couldn't face Loud? And who would you like to face between FPX and DRX? So I think the question is what happened on the second match or the second game, and who would you like to face between DRX and FPX?
They had a pretty good game plan. I think that's why we didn't really have an answer on the second map. They had a really good game plan of how to hit the sites, and they always got the entries when they hit sites. So there was that. And then also when we did play retake, they won a couple really key rounds, specifically the one where I think it was Pincata under Belk got dinked and then Open TP'd away. That was a key round that kind of made the money go in their favor. I think if we won that round, I think that half would have been different. But as far as who we want to play, it's not even in my head right now.
Thanks. We'll go next to Ian from Valoranting.
Hi, this is for Chet. You might not be able to answer this, and that's fine. Previously, when you played Loud, you guys did ban Ascent, lost on Pearl. This time, you guys let Ascent through. I assume this was very much on purpose. Were you surprised by how poorly Ascent went for you guys? And are you planning on changing up anything in the map bans?
Definitely surprised how Ascent went, considering we felt like we kind of knew what we needed to do, but just their plan was just better than ours, and they just won every clutch and pistol, so just things went their way. As far as changing things up, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not too sure right now because it just happened, so just need time to think about it.
Thank you. We'll go to Scott from Esports.
Hello, everyone. This question is for Ye. This rivalry between Optic and Loud has really been the defining one of all throughout the entire year. If you guys do make it back to grand finals, it'll be your 6th meeting just this year alone. How fitting would it be that if you guys were to reach grand finals, that essentially the year would end on another installment of this legendary rivalry?
It'd be funny because we faced them so many times now, and we keep facing each other because obviously they're a very strong team and we're strong as well. So I guess it'd be a pretty fitting end. And then obviously with franchising on the horizon, if Loud and us get in, then you're only going to see more. So
thank you. We'll now move to the on-site media. Would anyone like to go first?
Hey, Declan from Dexerto. This is also for EA. So in this tournament, statistically, you're kind of in your own realm. You're kind of only up against yourself in the last tournament, I believe, in terms of statistics. Do you think you'd be able to do that if you weren't playing Chamber?
I'd say so, just because it just depends on the agents, to be honest with you. One of my strengths, I guess, as a player is I'm able to use a lot of different weapons. I'm able to use the chamber kit pretty effectively, but I think I've also shown in the past that with other agents, whether it be with Judd or Sage, that I've also shown proficiency with that. So I like to think so, but like I said, it's kind of a hypothetical you're asking.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the on-site media? It looks like there are no more from the remote media. Oh, we have one more. Go ahead.
Hey, Mikhail Klementov, Washington Post. A question for Chet. Saw a big stack of papers on your desk while you were coaching. Can you tell us a bit about what your plan was for Loud and the ways in which it didn't work out?
I can't really like say exactly what the game plan was, but I mean, my analysts and myself worked like pretty hard on what we wanted to do. On Bind, I think there's obviously better success, and we got a lot more free open bomb sites because we had a better idea how they rotated. And on Ascent, I think they just kind of outplayed us, so plan didn't work, and I guess we know what to do better for next time.
Shouldn't have put the mic away, my bad. I'm also curious, I mean, there's some days in which strategizing doesn't work, you get out-stratted. Also days in which folks, just aren't feeling themselves, aren't feeling, like the day went the way that they wanted to. Do any of you guys feel that way today? Like, oh, I just wasn't playing my best self. Like, I didn't bring everything I would have on a perfect day out onto the field, or was it purely we just got out-stratted, we got outclassed on that front? Open question to anyone.
I can't speak for everyone, but I think everyone's day went pretty normal. Everyone here has a decent routine that they follow. We go to the gym. Actually, I broke my phone at the gym, so that's a good thing. But other than that, I think everyone else was pretty normal today.
We definitely could have done better. Obviously, we lost the last map 13-3. I don't even remember the last time that happened, but just gonna move on and try to be better.
Sorry, I promise this is the last time I'm gonna do this. I'm very curious about like personal routine stuff like that. Those of you who feel comfortable talking about it, can you tell me about what your routine has been like in Istanbul, with how you've treated your days, whether you've gone out, whether it's been going to the gym? Tell me a bit about that aspect of your day.
Yeah, so I mean, usually we all try to gym before match days, just to get our mind right, and we gym together. So I mean, me and Victor are always gymming together before match days, getting the vibes and chem right. And then everyone else has their own routine, whether they gym before or eat breakfast or do whatever. But we all have like pretty set routines, and whatever works for one person might not work for another. So
Declan, did you have one more?
A little off topic from today's matchup, but 2023 moving to a new system, obviously, so we're kind of moving into a new era of Valorant. I was just curious about this era of Valorant that we're leaving, going all the way back to the beta. Is there any kind of like defining moment that you guys will look back to as kind of defining this era of Valorant, whether it's like a certain matchup, something that happened personally in your career, or a tournament?
Probably just the win in Iceland, probably the most impactful thing we had. Also just the year we've had consistently being able to place top 3 and at least top 3 in this game that can be a little bit random sometimes, and very few have been able to do it. So probably just that.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Optic?
Hello, Aaron Down from the Loadout here. My question is for Ye. So this is going to be a chamber question. So I'm sure that you've probably had enough about talking about chamber, but we're going to send one more. On Ascent and Bind specifically, we've seen Chamber's pick rate drop, especially between Copenhagen and now. And I was just eager to know if, what sort of factors come into that, and why we're perhaps seeing less Chamber now on those maps than before.
Maybe it's also because he's gotten a few nerfs recently. Originally, when he was first introduced, he had like, for example, like 2 trips, and that got a lot of value on like some of those maps. And now that you don't have 2 trips anymore, it's reduced the pick rate a little bit. In terms of why I play chamber on like a lot of these maps, is I still feel like I get a lot of value, and yeah.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions for Optic? There's a microphone on the other side of the room.
Maciej Jędrzejek from Sport.pl. So maybe I'll ask Marv, because he haven't spoken at this conference yet. So both games, if you're gonna win, of course, lower bracket final, gonna be in form of BO5. And I just want to ask if you feel more comfortable in BO5 than BO3, when you know that you can possibly make more mistakes without consequences, and the match gonna be just longer.
Personally, I think best of 5 is good for us, because we like to start slow a lot, and I think it's a good warm up, and we have a lot more leeway to maybe just have more maps and just get more into it. So I think it's good for us. Also, our map pool is pretty large in my opinion. So I think that the vetoes usually favor us, but yeah, I like best of fives because there's a lot of Valorant being played, and yeah.
Thank you. Are there any more questions for Optic? Optic, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.